Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy holidays. Did everybody have a good holiday? Um, I'm feeling a little puffy today. Had had too many unforgiving foods. So, good morning. Gail is here. Good morning, Gail. Good morning, Diane. Diane's here also. Diane is wishing everybody, uh, hoping everybody had a holiday, a good holiday. I think we did. Um, so, we were kind of up in the air last week whether we were going to do a broadcast this week or not. And then, I don't know, because I haven't worked pretty much all week. I've taken a bit of time off. Um, and then I thought, I need to do something. So, here, let's do something. So, today, Doug, good morning, Doug. Doug, Doug, Doug. I have to recount, but I think there's only like 20, what is it, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20, 26 days to impressions in Long Beach. I know. Oh my God. I'm already starting to think about packing. Oh, which reminds me, for those of you who are tuning in, I will be at Impressions Expo in Long Beach in January. I fly in. When do I fly in? I fly on Tuesday, class, and then fly back on Saturday the 24th. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do a broadcast on Saturday the 24th. Okay, so back to today's subject. We're going to talk about redwork. Um, Wilcom 2026 has a new function. It is an auto pathing function. What it does is you put your lines on the screen and it will automatically link them together and path them in such a way that no line has more than two rows on it. And we'll get more into the specifics. But red work is not the only work out there. There is blue work, there's black work, and I was not familiar with this, but there's also something called white work, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to start with a little, I'm kind of liking this PowerPoint thing. So we're going to start with a little PowerPoint. Let me just bring that up on screen. Good morning, Barb. Good morning, Barb. Good to see you. So, today's episode, red work, blue work, black work, it's all line work. And it is pretty much all line work. So, here we go. The first, I've got 6 slides here. Slides that are going to talk about the different works. And then we're going to finish up with a summary. Um, the first one, again, red work. Red work, it's an outline embroidery. Yes, I Googled. I love Google. Good morning. I'm going to be terrible with this. I am so sorry. Good morning, Letty. Evelyn. Oh my gosh. Good morning. So anyways, red work. The technique uses a simple back stitch or a stem stitch. Um, it became popular when the red thread called turkey red was first dyed, and it was the first color to be color fast, meaning that it didn't bleed in the wash. When you put it in the wash, you forgot. I know. I am so sorry. Oh my God. Evelyn, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'll be back in Texas again this year. We'll do this again. So, anyways, turkey red was the first red to be color fast, which means if you put it in the wash, it wasn't going to dye all of your whites pink. Um, Oh my goodness, I'm on the big TV screen. Here, don't look at me. Um, so common motifs are the animals, the children. One of the things that made this quite popular is there was something called um, the penny square. I'm assuming that by the base of the name, it was a square of fabric, right? That had printed on it a well, we would call it a graphic, but had a picture printed on it that would help teach children their stitches, their embroidery. It's like little samplers. And ultimately, what you could do with all of these penny squares, you could put them together. In my searching, I saw a lot of quilts that were a lot of historic quilts that were made using the penny squares. I thought that was very interesting. So from redwork, we go on to bluework. Bluework is essentially the same as redwork, um, only it uses blue thread. Oh, excuse me, blue thread. Um, it was designed to mimic the Oriental blueware uh, crockery, the dishes and porcelain and vases. As you can see, it's very beautiful. This piece right here is a sample of blue work, Chinese porcelain, and here this is a sample. Exactly, Gail. Blue willow dishes. This is a sample of blue work that almost, these could be sisters to each other. And then of course there's this one. Isn't this beautiful? This looks like a bird, uh maybe a blue jay. Tail's not long enough for a blue bird of paradise, but that's what it reminds me of. Oh, deathware. Yes, exactly. There's lots and lots of samples of how blue work. I have my great grandmother's set. Oh, Gail, that has got to be a treasure. A treasure. So yes, these are, sometimes uh, used a lot was kitchen linens, nursery, pillowcases. When I was young, I helped my mother and my grandmother stitch embroidery, hand embroidery on pillowcases. My grandmother made a pillowcase and sheet set for every daughter in law, for every daughter right below her. So my aunt and I had, there were 9 children. So I had a total of 9 aunts. So we made sets for 9 women in the family. It was just, and my mom was crocheting the edges. I was doing the embroidery. It was very good uh, bonding time with my mom and my grandmother. So from blue work, we go to black work. Now, black work is a much older technique. It feels a lot like cross stitch, only it's not. If you look here, let me get my pen here. If you look here, it is line. It uses the same type of fabric base that you would use with counter cross stitch, and it is Letty knitted baby clothes. Oh my gosh! And it is counted in the sense that um, you need to know how far to move everything along, and it's a very geometric. a very geometric shape. This one is actually the older of all the works, the red work, blue work, even the white work. This is the oldest of this type of embroidery. Um, it uses counted thread stitches, backspace to create the lacy mosaic effects. Dates back to the 16th century. Nice. Historical uses to decorate collars, cuffs, and garments to mimic expensive lace. Hello, Wendy. Wendy, we were just talking about going to Texas this year. You're going to be there, right? And then, like I said, this was one that I was not familiar with, but then there is also white work. What makes white work white? Obviously, the thread. It uses, it is not just strictly unfilled spaces. It uses all of the techniques. The only thing that makes it white work is that it all uses white thread. It The technique, let's see, generally describes many varied techniques that can range from a simple surface embroidery to complex methods that alter the fabric itself. This one, where it has all these cutouts, and it's not really cutouts, they're actually just pulling the threads to make the squares. This is also called white work. This floral is white work. Let's see, often involves a buttonhole stitch, chain stitch, a larger exposure of what this one is. Buffering. This happened last week too. Shall I slow down a little bit? Can you hear me now? Am I back? Hey, Jesse. Seems okay now. Thank you, Barb. Thank you, Barb. Um, I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'll have to get with the my streaming provider to try to get a better idea. In the meantime, if this happens, just somebody, thank you, Jesse, just somebody put out there uh, buffering issue, and I'll kind of slow down. And then as soon as it's back, just somebody post up there that everything is back. I was talking about the squares. They weren't something. Thank you, Evelyn. The squares are not actually a cutout. The squares, they're making the stitch and they're pulling it tight so that the weave cinches together both top and bottom and create the squares. So that's what I was talking about with the squares. Um, let's see. Let's just go on to the next one. So we know about red work, blue work, black work, and now white work. The last slide I have for you today just talks about the different styles, um, what the techniques are. Aaron, can you see this? Aaron sent me a Christmas present. Sent one for my husband too. My husband loves it. He says he loves the fact that it has his name on it, that it has his business on it, and that it keeps the coffee so warm. It's really nice. Thank you so much. I'm thinking I want to do something in return. Frank, did I miss you? Frank, are you here? Oh, Frank. Hi. So yes, this last page just talks about the different styles of the works, the natural colors that are used, the fabric types that are used, um, basically the technique and the key characteristics. This one here, like I said, white work is monochromatic, includes fabric manipulation. Black work has a geometric, it's very intricate. Thank you, Erin. It's very intricate, it's geometric. Blue work is a single line color. Red work is also a single line color. So that's about it for our slideshow presentation. Let's see. So let me get this off the screen, and we're going to actually go to the digitizing. When you're doing red work, you can take pretty much any line graphic you want and use it as a base for red work. There are a couple of rules you need to keep in mind, and I'm going to expand this, maybe not that much. I'm going to expand this. Do you see where we have areas that are not connected? The thing that makes red work work is the fact that all the lines are connected. Yes, you may have one or two lines that are not, but for the most part, every line is connected. So when you're doing red work from a graphic that has a lot of lines, you need to make a decision as to what you're going to do with those lines. So let me just take a few of these. Yes, I've already done the digitizing. We all know how to draw a line. What we don't know is the technique. Okay, is the pink good enough? Can you see that? I'm looking to find a color that's really good for you guys. Okay, so if we look down here, and I'm going to enlarge again. This foot is not connected up here, which is okay because it's connected over here, which means that there is a path to come and do this area. I'm going to put these back. Connecting and what to connect. These lines pinky toe, next toe. So we have our pinky toe line, right? And then we have the next toe. Okay? I don't know if I can get any bigger. This line needs to connect and touch the next line. And of course, let me see if I can, I'm going to have to go back a little bit because they are not connecting. So this line needs to touch and connect at this line. At this point, don't worry about your stops and starts. We're worried about connections. This line does not connect, so we want to draw it over so it does connect. Okay? This line over connects. And I don't know if you guys can see this. Hold on. Does that help? Okay. This line, oops, wrong line. Sorry. I'll get there, I promise. This line over connects. And of course, we've manipulated this whole area here, so it's probably not in its best place. We're going to pull this one out a little bit so that it's not dragging over, and this one so that it's right on the line. And again, you want to do that so that the pathing can know that those two lines are together. If you go over, it will come to this point and it will make a decision that this is supposed to be there. So the pathing will draw itself over to the left and then come back right. We don't want that extension. So we're going to make sure that they connect. This one, again, we're going to make sure it connects. Once you get all of your line work done, you want to go through the whole design on hide, make black. You want to go through the whole design and make sure that your connections are deliberate. For example, over here on this knee, we do want this to draw over because it's part of the definition for the knee. So when we do this part, we can see, why am I getting this? Yep. Nope. I don't know what I've done here. Oh, there we go. You want to go through and make sure that you're not overdrawing. You also want to decide what elements are not going to be included. For example, if you look at the graphic, there's a belly button here. I did not include that because there was no way to naturally connect it. Let's go back to a different color. Let's go up to this wing. I chose a Cupid because, we're coming up into the season for Valentine's. So if we look at the wing, we're going to start here and so if you look at the wing, we have all that separation right here, but we know that we need to make connections. So you can make a decision as to how you're going to connect your wing. Which is exactly what I did here. I knew I needed to make these connections. This element right here, for example, I made here. This element I connected into here, and both of them are connected at this point. Of course, it's not connecting properly. There we go. So that when the pathing happens, it's going to come up and path and path and path and path. Then it's going to come up and do these. And then it's going to come back and continue. The same thing with the curly locks. We want to make sure everything's going to connect. Let's go ahead and get our wings back where they belong. Go ahead and change their color. So those are the things that you need to really be careful with when you're doing red work using embroidery software. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of our Cupid in the background. You notice I didn't give him a face either, because if you look at the face, there's a lot of pieces that would not connect naturally. Um, so I thought without the face, he still, he still looks like a Cupid, still looks like he's ready to lay out a little love there. And if we did not have this redwork function in the software, you would have to manually decide what you wanted to do. For example, let's go back down to these toes. Redwork has two running stitches, one over the other. And in your pathing, you need to path in such a way that you're not going to create a third line on top of two existing lines. So this particular piece would run here and make the toes. You notice I've already got two strokes over these areas. Because we go down and come up, that creates that second stroke. We go down and come up, go down and come up, and then come over to the end, right? Now we have to get our second line. So we're going to come back over the same line, but we're not going to go down because there's already two strokes there. We're going to come back over and back over. Again, we're not going to go down because that would give us four strokes. And we're going to come over, and we're going to come over, and then come back here. From here, we need to continue. Now down here, this toe is not connected. So from here, I would go down and then come back up and then go back up. But again, you have to create your pathing in such a way that you do not repeat over the same line more than two times. And it can get a little bit tricky. I don't know about you guys, but my brain gets a little twisted sometimes because I don't remember, did I go over that line twice? Did I go over that line a third time? One of the other nice things about this particular version is that you can actually stop in the middle of wherever you are. This is going to just be rough because now you don't remember which way do I need to go. So you stop, then you check, recheck, and then from here you can use the continuation and continue to where you need to go next. If you were going to try to path this manually, that's what you would have to do. But with the new pathing, you do all of your digitizing. You come up here and you select it all, and you hit the redwork icon, or you can Alt-I. I'm not one with the big keystrokes. And it will enter. Are you calculating? I think it's calculating. Oh, no, it's not calculating. I had something else selected. And enter. There we go. You see this up here? This is our connected. If you think of it like branching, of course, branching will allow multiple passes. Redwork does not. But like branching, it will show you an icon in your film strip when it's all together. Now we're going to do a virtual redraw. You ready? And this is going to be kind of slow because I want you to see. There's one. It only did one at this point. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So the software has done all of this auto. Oh, got to read this for you guys. We're going to pause our redraw here. Diane wants to give out a personal thank you to the person who suggested the IKEA rolling cart. She said she got one, and she's loving it. No longer have to lift my hooping station around. And it's on wheels, right, Diane? So you can roll it wherever you need to go. All right, so back to our drawing. And if you watch, you can see that the pathing is making the decision where to lay that second line before going on to the next single line. And ultimately, at the very end of it, you have um, only 2 lines of running stitch. So, everybody got that? Let me show you. What did I do with it? Here's the stitch out. Sorry, I think the cat's laid on it. But here is the actual stitch out. This is my start and stop. The software will start and stop in the same place, which of course is where my knot is, and my lower thread did not pull my upper thread all the way through, so the knot is visual. But that's a me issue, not a design issue. He turned out pretty good, didn't he? Why do we always think Cupid's as boys? Just a thought. But you can see the stitching. Here's where it ended at this point and it came back. Of course, there's tension on the stitching, which pulls the thread, the weave a little bit, so you've got some exposed areas here, but they will relax and will close up again. You like what I did with the curls there? Remember, those curls were not connected. So we needed to find a way to connect the curls so that they would all stitch. Any questions about red work, blue work? Haven't never done any black work. I think we've all done white work and not even realized that's what we did. Let's see here. Coming back. So, red work and white work and blue work and black work. What do you think? While you guys are thinking about that, my phone is ringing. Oh, it's my mother-in-law. I'll have to call her back right away. So anyways, that's how you can digitize for red work. Whether you're using the manual pathing or you're using the auto pathing available with a little bit confusing. Oh, Wendy, you're going to love it. Wendy, if you have any questions about it, just throw me a question. I'll be happy to help. And Evelyn, send me an email. Send me an email and tell me what is a bit confusing, and I will try to dig in a little deeper for you. Okay? I promise. Next week, oh, my mother-in-law, I'm sorry. Mother, I'm going to have to call you back, okay? All right. All right. I just hung up on my mother-in-law. Oh my God, you never should do that. Okay. Um, so yes, anybody's got any questions after this, just send me an email. Um, in the meantime, next weekend is New Year's weekend. I'll try to find something fun for next weekend also. With that in mind, I'm going to say goodbye. Where'd my, there it is. Bye now. Fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.